Welcome to my channel. I hope that you're doing something that you love today, tonight, this afternoon, whenever this message finds you, simply because you deserve to. Thank you for all of the likes, comments, subscribes, and donations to my channel. This is going to be a message for the divine masculine to the divine feminine. We're going to be checking on the overall situation between your divine counterpart and you. We are going to be looking at your individual energies and how you both are feeling about what is conspiring between you two. And we're going to take a look at the outcome and get you some advice from Spirit. Let's get into it. Thank you, Spirit, for any and all messages channeled through me. Alright. Bottom of the deck, we have the Devil card in reverse, Temptation in reverse. We also have Mental Conflict in reverse under that. So, this is the Two of Swords and the Devil card, both in their reverse. It tells me that there's been some type of decision, some type of final decision made between you and this divine counterpart. Right? For a long time, there could have been a lot of uncertainty between this connection that you guys have in regards to where it was heading and what the next steps were. But it seems as though that conflict, that psychological conflict, right, has kind of ended for both of you. It seems as though one of you has made a decision in regards to the direction that you want to head, and the other one seems like they have no choice but to be kind of on board with that. To start your spread out for your overall energy between you both, we have the Waiting Game in reverse. This is the Two of Wands in reverse, so no longer waiting, right? You're not waiting for somebody to kind of get their shit together. You're not waiting for somebody to make a decision. The decisions have been made, right? And you could be dealing with a fire sign, but I also have the Magician in reverse, so it tells me that for a long time, neither of you really felt like you were in control of this relationship or situation, this dynamic, right? You both could have felt like being around each other was the urge that you felt, the pull that you felt towards each other, right? The way that you guys could not really stay away from each other regardless of if it was healthy or not for you. It's like in that sense, in that regard, you might have felt, both of you potentially, like you weren't really in control when it came to them, you know? And I feel like this person felt as though you were, or you could feel like this as well, like this person was something of a temptation for you. The desire, the love, the connection that you had, it ran very deep and it was very real, but it got so much so to a point that it started to become maybe a bit toxic or unhealthy. And it seems as though you have now came to that understanding, and that is why you've made this decision to detach from something, at least for the time being, right? Detach from them, or potentially the codependency that you both kind of had for each other. This could have been somebody that had a lot of excuses as to why they could not do certain things, or, you know, live up to certain standards that you had, or vice versa. I see that there was a lot of conflict in the past with this person, potentially because the codependency became too real, too present in the connection. It was something that you could not really ignore or avoid, right? Regardless of if you felt in control or not, in terms of how you felt about this connection or person, the codependency factor was really making you feel a bit out of control, right? Like the way that their actions could influence you to such a degree that if they were having a bad day, it's like then you were having a bad day, or vice versa. If you were having a bad day, then they were having a bad day. The individuality became a bit blurred in regards to those boundaries and lines, and because of that, this decision had to be made to kind of detach from this energy, this person, this connection. In the center of your overall energy, we have conflict and defeat in the reverse. So this is the Five of Wands in reverse. It tells me the decision that you made for yourself because of your awareness, right, that you were not in control when it came to this person, that they might have had more influence over you and your decisions and your life and your emotions than you would have liked to admit, right? Because you became an awareness of that, you made this decision to kind of detach from whatever was so conflicting about that situation and connection, right? The unhealthiness that it was causing you in your life. And then moving forward, we have the Ace of Wands, passion ignited. You definitely could be dealing with the fire sign, or you could be a fire sign yourself. But this is a new beginning, and this is something that is more fulfilling to yourself. You're feeling more in control. If you see these cards, awareness and passion ignited, this is the crown chakra, and this is the heart chakra, right? Ignited, passion ignited. And yours actually came out like this. So for a long time, your vision was clouded, right? Your crown chakra was not necessarily in full awareness because you were letting your emotions kind of guide you and the show in regards to this connection or relationship. But now you have regained this control for yourself, reconnected with your heart space, took back control of your life. And to end this spread, we have balance. Could be dealing with a Libra, or you could be a Libra. But this just speaks to the Justice card in the tarot. So it's like this decision that you made to kind of detach from the codependency, or at least acknowledge the codependency, really helps you bring your energies back into balance in regards to this connection and whole situation overall, you know? So I feel like overall between you, the DM to the DF, this dynamic we're speaking of, it is something that it felt so good, right? You were so in love, you were so captivated by this connection at one point in time that you lost sense of maybe your own autonomy, or you became unaware just how much their actions and emotions and feelings were starting to affect you, right? And then they probably also felt like this, or this is something that they are still coming into awareness of, right? But I do see after this awareness is brought to the surface for you specifically, you chose to detach. You made a decisive decision to detach from anything that was conflicting, right? This says mental conflict in reverse, and then in the center, Two of Swords reverse. And then in the center, we have conflict and defeat in reverse. So it's like any and all conflict in regards to this temptation that you once did not have much control over, this relationship, has been removed, and you now have a new beginning moving forward, peacefully, excitedly, in balance, in tune with yourself, probably more so than you have felt than in a long time. You feel a lot more connected to yourself. We're going to check on the Divine Masculine's energy. Strength in reverse. Yeah, Seven of Wands in reverse. So this masculine could have been, on the split, this masculine could have been having a hard time accepting this truth that you kind of had to accept, right? The fact of the codependency matter in general, right? They might not see this connection or situation the same as you do. They might not want to acknowledge the unhealthiness of the codependency or the lack of boundaries that was had between you two in this connection. And so I feel like that's still something that they're trying to overcome or accept and come to terms with. All right, let's check on the masculine energy. We have the World card. Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, that makes sense. And the King of Wands in reverse and the Emperor. So yeah, in regards to you being decisive and making a decision and kind of moving forward, this masculine had a very difficult time accepting the reality. They did not want to move forward. They didn't want things to change. They didn't want to accept the reality that things needed to change, right? Like you and this energy were not necessarily having the best boundaries, right? King of Wands in reverse and the Emperor. The boundaries here were kind of very, in regards to this masculine, it's like internally they know that there is a lack of boundaries. There is a lack of control, right? A sense of control over oneself. Could be dealing with an Aries. But at the same time, they don't want things to change because they're comfortable with the way things are with the Six of Swords in reverse and the World card. So I feel like this masculine is kind of in a very stagnant energy in regards to how they're feeling about this whole connection and relationship. Six of Wands in reverse, and Justice. They feel like they're just happy with the way that things are. They don't want things to change. They don't want to necessarily move on from this connection. They see you as somebody that, or this situation, right, that brings them a lot of comfort and makes them feel in control. But that is where this codependency or maybe narcissism, right? Narcissistic trait maybe comes from, because this is somebody that needs to have control. King of Wands reverse and the Emperor, they need to have control in order to feel fulfilled, but they're having control for the wrong reasons. They're not using their control for the best benefit of all. They desire this control for the best benefit of themselves. And I feel like for a long time you weren't fully aware of this. You were lacking the clarity that you needed to see this, but you came to terms with it, and that is when you detached and took this new beginning for yourself. Whether they want to move on or things to change or not, the fact that the situation's unsuccessful as it is, and then we have Justice again, tells me that things kind of had to change. And I feel like you knew that, and so you made the changes that you needed to, or that were necessary for this connection. Let's check on the Divine Feminine's energy. Six of Cups. The Queen of Cups in reverse. Very, very emotional. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. So you don't feel like you can move forward. So you feel very, wow. And the Six of Wands is on the bottom in reverse again. And the Seven of Swords under that. Magician in reverse. And the Ten of Wands. So you're feeling very, very conflicted in regards to the decision that you kind of had to make. It was becoming too burdensome for you to be aware of what was happening and continue to move forward in the same way. Like it looks like this masculine wanted to move forward in that way. So I feel like deep down, right, secretly for a long time you could have been trying to figure out how to go about taking this next step for yourself, which is detaching from the codependency, because you don't feel that it is necessarily fair, or there's a lack of control that you feel experiencing this codependency. So I feel like for a long time you could have been trying to figure out how to detach from it, and it looks as though you kind of had to put your feelings for this connection, right? This deep-rooted love that you have for them, the memories that you had for them, all of the emotions that you feel for this connection in person. It's like you kind of had to put it on the back burner because you realized that you putting this connection first was putting yourself last. And so you had to start being a bit more selfish with your energies and your emotion, right? And that leads to you no longer moving forward or taking action with this Knight of Swords in reverse, no longer moving forward or taking action with this, with the way that things were going. It's like you had to detach at least from the internal conflict and defeat that you were experiencing in regards to this codependency that was present in your connection. So I feel like at the bare minimum, you kind of started putting yourself first, your emotions first, because it was becoming internally conflicting and defeating to you to do otherwise. But on probably a broader scale, it's like you actually had to stop communication with this masculine for a period of time, or you're currently not in communication with this masculine because you were realizing that the energy that was being exchanged was not necessarily equal or balanced, right? And this new beginning I'm seeing here in your overall current energies, followed by the Justice card, balance, tells me that you kind of took matters into your own hands in order to bring balance to the situation. Let's see the outcome. We have memory and growth in the reverse. Six of Cups energy with the memory. It's like, I feel like you could be thinking about this situation a lot, this masculine. We have distance. Yeah, the outcome is, I feel like you guys are in a period of separation right now. Card number, or the number 14 could be of importance to you. Your birthday could be on the 14th. But I feel like you guys are in separation, and both of you are definitely thinking about one another, the memories that were had and shared. But I do see you very passionate or excited to be on this new path wherever you're at. Seems as though your heart is very connected to it, probably because you feel more connected to yourself because you've taken that power back for yourself. Spirit did not want to, okay, what an outcome. There we go. Luck. Okay, so I feel like this distance is actually a positive thing for definitely you, but most likely the both of you, because I feel like through this distance, the masculine might realize that keeping things the same as they were was never really going to, it wasn't going to work. There was never going to be the success that both of you were looking for. And I feel like this gives him a time, this distance gives him time to kind of figure that out for himself or come to terms with that for himself. But for you, I feel like this was just very beneficial for you. This distance is beneficial because it really connects you back to yourself, your heart space, your emotions. So in regards to the outcome, I would expect things to start falling into place for you. It's giving me Wheel of Fortune, you know? It's like you had to make a tough decision, and because you did that, because you made that sacrifice for yourself to put yourself first, I would expect blessings to come. We also have routine in the reverse. So yeah, things might be very different where you're at. You could have moved. We have community. You could be around new people, places, and things. Yeah, teamwork and warning. So I would just be aware of the people, places, and things that you're around right now. If you are in like a new environment, just make sure you know who you're surrounding yourself with, because it seems as though you're not necessarily in this masculine energy currently at this time. So this new beginning could range from many different things. You could be involved in a lot of different things, separated or away from this masculine, but I do see your routine is different, and this is going to be a positive thing for you. Let's get you 3 cards of advice. The Hierophant. Okay. Strength in reverse. And the High Priestess in reverse. So definitely, in regards to advice, 5 of Wands in reverse, that's in the center of your reading. 4 of Wands in the Fool. Kind of embrace this new beginning with open arms, because it does seem like you're far more at peace than the situation you were dealing with this masculine. But at the same time, don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself. If you know something is good for you deep down, right? If your morals, values, and beliefs align with the choices that you had to make, the difficult decisions that you had to make, don't doubt yourself and allow those feelings of fear or self-doubt to kind of creep in, because your higher self made this decision, right? With the Hierophant, your higher self made the decision to create this distance and create a new routine for yourself, right? Your higher self made the decisions it made so that you could take your power back for yourself. So I feel like right now your advice is to trust your intuition, because your higher self is running the show, right? It's getting you out of a lot of undesirable situations and bringing you into more balanced situations with this 4 of Wands, 5 of Wands in reverse. And the new beginning, especially in regards to your emotions, is here. We also have the Tower in reverse. You dodged a bullet by taking this new beginning and putting your emotions on the front line instead of putting this connection above all else, you know? So this was the message for the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine, Divine Counterpart energies. Thank you.